So I was just giving an introduction about what these three modes are. I was asking everyone if they have any understanding of these three modes. Generally we will not have. By knowing these three modes, we will know about ourselves first of all. How we are being controlled nicely, and then our relationship between God and these three different energies, and how we can become a better person. Right? So God is allowing us to enjoy our desires, whatever may be our desires. So He is trying to put us in control of these three modes so we can develop certain desires in certain bodies. So at the end of that life, lease period is over of that body, just like we lease different apartments. We can lease different cars, right? So the end of our time period in that body, whatever is our desire, so we will facilitate to continue that next desire by giving a next body based on our modes, whatever our percentage of modes. So these three modes are like that: Sattva, Raja, Tama, Guna. Let's say right now we're all in 30, 40 and 30. We are like say 40% goodness, 30% passion, 30% ignorance. Let's say by the end of life we are like 50, 20 and 20.
50, 20, 30.
30.
Yeah.
So based on that, we will get a maybe another human body, in a better country, in a better family, whatever. So this is how we get our bodies. This is how we start thinking. This is how, based on our modes, we will start behaving. Everything what we do is controlled by these three modes. The way we sleep, the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we behave with others, and all these things. So it's very important to know these modes. So the basic understanding is that we know there are three murtis, right? Three murtis, who are three murtis? Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. So in general, we don't want to get into details how they are different, but we know that Brahma he helps in creation, Vishnu helps in maintenance, and Shiva helps in destruction. And they are also differentiated because they control these three modes. Brahma controls mode of passion. He is the controller of mode of passion. And Lord Shiva controls mode of ignorance. And Lord Vishnu controls mode of goodness. So what does passion indicate in general? Passion indicates, if somebody has a lot of passion, what would they do? Creation. So a lot of things we start, but to start is easy in passion, but to maintain is difficult. So what needs to maintain anything? We need mode of goodness. We need a lot of patience, tolerance. So that is controlled by Mahavishnu or Krishna now. And to destroy is ignorance. Lord Shiva controls this. It doesn't mean that he is in ignorance. It doesn't mean they are in passion ignorance. They are beyond these three modes. That means they are beyond, even Mahavishnu is beyond the time span. So they don't come into these modes, but they control them. But they are the head of these three modes. So that's why Lord Shiva is responsible to destroy this. He also maintains our bodies. There are many rudras in the body. For our death also, he takes away some rudras. So that's how we feel death. So how do we define mode of goodness? So the general nature of mode of goodness is to illuminating, prakasha, without sinful reaction. So, and mode of passion means it's born of desire or lust, arises from hankering. Mode of ignorance is delusion of all embodied entities. So this is how it is described in different, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam especially, different points are given. We will go in depth for this. So mode of goodness in general means to be peaceful, right? That we are The happiness one gets in mode of goodness is by helping others. So how to know that we are in mode of goodness? If we are happy by serving others, then we will be that means we are mostly dominated by mode of goodness. If we are happy by being distinct from others in the society, like by being very controlling or something unique, like movie stars, politicians, like this, something unique, we want to have this desire, that means we are predominated by mode of passion. Sometimes we don't care. I don't know how this world goes, I don't really care. We may not have full knowledge, but this type of factor is mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness is like early morning. When we get up and we take shower, how do we feel? We feel like doing something good for God, right? To serve Him, or we are so peaceful. That is compared to the mode of goodness. And in the afternoon, by the time we go to office, associate with so many people, slowly that peacefulness will go away, so many things will come in mind, we have to do a lot of things, right? This is generally mode of passion. Passion is rajo ragatmikam, a lot of attachment and strong desire to quickly, any desire we get, we want to immediately get it. This is mode of passion. And by evening, how do we feel? By 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we feel a little tired and don't feel like doing anything, right? So that is mode of ignorance. So if someone is mode of goodness, he feels happy by serving others, by helping others. If someone is in mode of passion, predominantly, he is happy by being superior, by being distant. If someone is mode of ignorance, he is happy by making others miserable. If he scolds someone and makes someone cry, then you feel very happy. Oh, I made a day today. Right? It's generally like that. And nice scenic places like this lake, if you walk around the lake, how do you feel? That's mode of goodness. And if you go to malls, Brandon Mall and different malls, movie, theater, shopping malls, we also feel happy. That generally is mode of passion. Right? Something that we want to, we are proud of our. And the nightclubs and all these other things, right, is ignorance. Right? Everything can be understood like that. So what happens when we are in mode of goodness? We think straight, we think peaceful, we think which is actually good for me and others, and we make a right decision. If you're in mode of too much controlled by mode of passion, then we not necessarily think in right direction. We act instinctively. And we may commit mistakes. Right? So that is mode of passion. In mode of ignorance, we don't even think. We may react immediately, right? Without thinking whether whose mistake is it, mine or me. So that is how we can understand how one behaves in mode of ignorance. So what else we can talk? So these three, this is the general idea of these three modes. But what is the solution? The solution is there is a way to come out of these three, control of these three modes. So of course we know the best is to be in mode of goodness, right? Best is to be in mode of goodness. But mode of goodness, what happens is in mode of goodness, we will actually start thinking, if somebody acts in mode of goodness, that means he is doing good to himself and to others. Starting with his own family and society, nation, even serve God, we can go to that level. If we can come to this mode of goodness level, and we can, by doing little effort, we can get a lot of success. Because we can act intelligently, we can take right decision, right time. So this is mode of goodness. That's why it's important to be in mode of goodness. Because from there only we can reach above levels, even to think about God, even to serve God, one has to be predominated by this mode. Otherwise, he'll be too much controlled by so many things. If you're in other modes, in mode of passion, what happens? In the same lines we want to define. If we are controlled too much by mode of passion, we are always busy, very very busy from morning to evening. But there is no guarantee that at the end of our life or end of the day, end of each year, we are doing good to others. Not necessarily supreme good, some good materially, but we are not actually doing good to ourselves and our own family probably. So that is how the mode of passion tricks us. That's how a lot of people, they work too hard, whole life they dedicate, but the end, the results are not really very pleasing to them. This is mode of passion. In mode of ignorance, so now we can guess. Goodness means you are doing good to you and others. Passion means you are good to others, not yourself. And ignorance means, any guess?
Bad to others and yourself.
Both. No one can really enjoy. Your suffering and also make others suffer. So it's really important to raise above these three levels. So let's say we raise above these three levels and come to mode of predominated by mode of goodness. Is that enough? Is that where we want to just stay, or and is that enough to go to become the best of all the citizens? Best of all, to please God? No, it's not. So that's the point. Mode of goodness is like brings us to a level of going to airport, from where we can take off to higher level, to go beyond. So that brings us there, and from there we can prepare to take off to go aloof of others. That is called transcendental. We have heard this name many times. Transcendental meditation, transcendental. If you go to Google, many people use transcendental, but not many people don't know this idea. What is transcendental? What is it to be to transcend means to go above, right? To go above. That's what it means. To transcend means to transcend these three modes. Mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. Even mode of goodness we have to go above. That is transcendental. That is transcendental. So mode of goodness can help us to go above the control of these three modes. So Bhakti Yoga, what it does, Bhakti Yoga, when we engage in Bhakti Yoga, it doesn't matter whether we are in control in ignorance, passion or goodness, we get a chance to directly be transcendental. Because this Bhakti Yoga is so powerful, it's so natural that we don't have to do anything artificial. With other yogas, sometimes you meditate for 1 hour, but what about the 23 hours? Right? So, so Bhakti Yoga means how to live a nice family life, convert everything what we do into spiritual, convert everything into transcendental. So every activity we do, we want to do it in a transcendental way, not even in goodness. For example, ignorance means he thinks he is the body. He doesn't know, he thinks he is just this material body. He don't know what is mind. He doesn't know how things work in the body. And he may not believe in God, or even if he believe in God, he has a different understanding. Okay, so it's important to talk about this. For example, in ignorance, what happens? Everything, as I said, everything can be defined in these three modes. Even religion can be defined in these three modes. The person in mode of ignorance, he may have faith in God, but his faith is very. Anyway, we will see that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he will worship sometimes Bhuta and Pretas. Mode of ignorance. But Lord Shiva is so compassionate that he will even try to help those people in too much of ignorance, too much attached to sinful activities. He is little pleased. Right? He is trying to bring them up. So that's why you see Ravana, all this, sometimes demonic, he give mercy to them. He is such a great person. So some religions, mode of ignorance means, I can say we can compare who are fanatic, who tries to kill others if they don't listen, believe that you don't believe he is God, I want to kill you. This kind of mentality, mode of ignorance. Mode of passion means since they believe in distinct. So this kind of people, when they love God and they want to convert everyone into their religion, whole world should be believing in what they believe. They may use different tricks. They may not try to kill us by their power, money, whatever it is. I don't have to say, you all have experience, right? Some religions, they feel happy in the numbers. Oh, like how many numbers we are in the world right now. So that's how they feel very happy. That's why they think they're pleasing God if they do it like that. But in mode of goodness, also in transcendental, means they are focusing on how much they are getting purified internally, externally, how peaceful they are becoming, how simple life they are living and how much time they are using in serving God, right? How much less their senses are demanding them, right? So this is what some religions in mode of goodness. But transcendental means sometimes in transcendental they behave very unique, but they do everything to please God. Transcendental. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is transcendental. Bhakti Yoga means to do every activity in pleasing God, because if we believe that there is God and we are His son, scientifically we understand first of all. So this is transcendental. So they may not appear normal, but whatever they do, they are getting high credits. They may not be understood by normal people, because if somebody is transcendental, someone may think, oh, he's just a madman or something. Right? We have this experience in India. So many spiritual saints, sometimes when they're living, people think he's a madman. He's just crazy. But it takes too much time to understand them. Right? So that is transcendental.
Can you start serving?
If it's ready? Yeah, give us some more time.
Okay, I'll open it.
Yeah. So now, this is transcendental, right? So let's understand how a person in mode of goodness, why he feels that by destroying he'll get pleasure. Because he believes that he is the body and he focuses on enjoying his senses.
Daddy, be fire.
Not disturbing. Thank you. Okay, I'll keep it. That's why, because he is too attached to enjoying his senses. So anyone who disturbs his enjoyment, he gets disturbed too quickly. He doesn't care even to kill someone, even to his own family members sometimes. Because he doesn't know any enjoyment higher than his sensual enjoyment. That is mode of ignorance. Right? Just like kids. Sometimes they are attached to these toys, new toys. You try to take away, they will scold, they sometimes throw things whatever, right? They are control. So, in mode of passion generally, because you are trying to be distinct, so you sometimes use your mind. They are too much for mental enjoyment or intellectual enjoyment. They are looking for name and fame, power and distinction. Not necessarily, some nice sensual enjoyment, but they are looking for a lot of power and distinction. So in order to get it, they don't care to do any kind of plot. It's so dangerous how sometimes the politicians behave, right? Just like we don't know, so much bureaucracy going on top. They can't reveal the truth. If they reveal the truth, so many people, they get revolt, and so it's very tricky. But they're all controlled by this. They want name and fame. And all these rich people also, they're doing a lot of contribution towards this, controlling the whole planet. Right? If you ask them, after certain degree of earning money, why they are behind all this, they have no answer. After we satisfy certain basic needs, right, house and car and certain money, and they really don't know why they want so much money. So that is what mode of passion. They really don't know what they are doing. Okay. Mode of goodness, they don't care about the root cause. why people suffer, why things go on. Sometimes in mode of passion also they don't care. In mode of goodness they do care. They don't necessarily go into the level of understanding from the eyes of God. You see the point? In mode of ignorance, they are only in the level of enjoying their senses. Anything you call me disturbance, I'm ready to kill you. You see? Mode of passion means they are trying to save their name and fame. You try to defame me, I'm going to kill you. Right? So mode of goodness means he is determined to help others, but not necessarily he knows why others are suffering. He may not know why this, what is after death. Is death the end of the story? Or is death like a day and night? When we sleep, we are almost like dying. We don't even know what's going on around us. And we wake up like a new birth. Right? Every night and day is like death and new life. So death is another end of a day. It's like reset. Right? So, someone don't have this full scientific and full faith, that level of faith or understanding, but he is determined to help others. So in the name of helping, sometimes he may not really do the spiritual help to other person. For example, kids, they want a lot of things. So mode of goodness, okay, take everything you want. Right? But you also consider whether it's going to destroy their health or not, but not beyond their spiritual health. You will only concentrate probably on their material health, their physical health. What about their spiritual health? What about, they take care of so nicely, like we can take care of a family. Generally we want to earn a lot of money, make our kids and wife very comfortable, a lot of savings, all that, like in India, right? But what about spiritual life? What about after death? Are you guaranteeing that? Because it's very important to analyze, because there is so many past life memories. People are proving, right? It's not that. So even if you don't have full faith on God, it's very evident that many scientists have many hundreds of evidences that people are born, they remember, there are proofs. American government funds millions of dollars, there are evidences. There are near-death experiences, there are past life regressions, there are out-of-body experiences, the flying saucers from other planets. There are evidences about all the Puranas like Dwarka, under the sea, and the bridge, Ramayana bridge. Jesus Christ, recently Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about many Puranas explaining how this personality is going to come. Everything is 5,000 years back written, it is explained, it's happening. So what about this? So they don't think beyond. Okay. So mode of goodness generally means charities and you just try to help others. Okay. But it's better than passion. In passion means how do you help others? Just to get name and fame. Like politicians, they want to donate a lot of things, right? So they don't even care. And all their back of the mind is they want to someday or other get the return back. Mode of ignorance means you may not look for return, but you don't really care whether someone wants a cigarette, so you buy a bunch of cigarettes from America and take them. Right? Someone wants to do some sinful activity, you sponsor it. Just because he's my friend, I'll sponsor him. So this is helping in mode of ignorance. So we have to be transcendental. We have to go beyond the mode of goodness. That means we have to think from the from the eyes of God. Then we can actually act perfectly. Right? Then it may appear to be disturbing to others, but we should have to tolerate it. Because in passion, you are controlled by others. If it's disturbing to society, you will not tend to do anything else, because you are bound by, that's like a sheep. In India sometimes we hear one sheep go under a train, there are 10 sheep going under a train. So they don't even see, just blindly follow. One person falls in the ditch, everyone falls in the ditch. Okay. So this is mode of mode of ignorance, following passion, ignorance, goodness. So let me ask some questions, and then while having prasadam, maybe we can go through the table. I just want to know if we all understood or I confused everyone. If you don't mind, we'll just ask questions. So for example, eating. Okay, so let me ask some simple common sense we can use. Eating process. How does a person in mode of ignorance eat? Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Whatever is pleasing to his senses. Right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, sometimes he likes decomposed, lot of smell, lot of decomposed food, dead bodies. He likes dead bodies. so that is mode of ignorance. A lot of this meat, everything is also dead bodies. We don't realize. So mode of what does a person in mode of passion likes to eat? Probably you can try to guess. Just guess. Mode of passion. How would you like to eat?
We cook whatever you like and
Yeah, what? Generally very tasty, like tasty to the tongue, very attractive, spicy, and masala, and right, hot, and in the beginning it is very good, passion food, but the end, after you eat, it starts burning in the stomach and everywhere else. So this is mode of passion. And what is the food in mode of goodness? Would you like to guess?
Yeah, well, whichever is available for him at that point of time, and whichever when his appetite for that he'll take.
Okay, very nice. Like very clean, fresh. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, fruits, vegetables, milk, sweets, not prepared more than 3 hours ago. So we just put the rice like 45 minutes back. You want to have fresh and hot, nice prasadam.
But then it comes to specification of some food. When it comes to passion.
No, he is very careful in. Okay, this is mode of goodness. Then what can be transcendental? How can we go beyond these 3 modes?
You're talking in terms of food?
Food only.
I mean the food that
Pressure.
helps you digest quickly and that helps
This is goodness.
helps you in doing your meditation and all that.
This is
Having
goodness.
pressure.
She is right.
Yeah.
So now, sometimes PETA, you know about PETA organization? PETA. They care for animals.
Animals,
and all that.
yeah.
There is a lot of funds and they are focused on stopping abusing the animals. That's all. They don't know why the animals are created, how man and animal should work together according to the plan of God. Right? They're not concerned about all that. Their focus is it's called passion. Generally, they are just stop killing, stop using anything about even the dead animals. Can you stop using these kind of things? To propagate that, they do a lot of. If you see Indian newspaper, they're filled with all these models. They're coming here, see poses that host. Crazy, They're not. This is one example of, right? But what about vegetables? If you ask PETA, don't vegetables have life? What do you do about them? Then why are we killing them? They have life too. There are scientists who prove that plants have life. So they will be dumb form. They can't answer. So the only solution is mode of transcendental. So vegetables also have life. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You know that verse? What does Krishna say? Lakshmi.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktra
Prayachati tadaham bhakti prahutam. Okay, so the point is, he says, anyone who offers me a leaf, a flower, water, and a fruit, with love and devotion, I accept it. And I take all the reaction. Because the plants also have life. If you try to enjoy for your own enjoyment, then you have to be responsible to take the reaction. So he says, there are many other verses. He says, someone who tries to eat for their own enjoyment, they will have to face the reaction of that food also. So we want to be grateful to the Lord that He gave us this human form, He gave us food to maintain ourselves. Just like kids, sometimes we are grateful to our parents. So we offer that food. That's how in temples we get prasad. We are grateful to the Lord. So this is transcendental. Simple process of eating.
So what does it signify that even vegetables have life? You say we should.
So vegetables have life, but the amount of sin we get by eating vegetables is far more less compared to the amount of sin we get by eating other non-prescribed food. It said Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. See, this is a chain, right? This book explains how Bhagavatam Vedas describe how this nature is created, how the Lord is created. There's a lot of dependency. Like we breathe out carbon monoxide and the plants take oxygen, right? So this is designed in such a way that one depends on the other. Yeah, so Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. We have to depend on living entities. If we depend on the prescribed food, for example, we are given cows, right? Cows usually give a lot of milk beyond feeding their babies is available. This is the creation of God. He wants man to survive on the milk and vegetables and fruits and nice. And we stay healthy also. See, based on the food we eat, our memory and our intelligence, everything matters. And by the way, by these modes also we describe our society. As per Vedas, we generally know Brahmana caste system, right? Caste system is something abuse system not followed as per the scriptures. Today's system what we see in India is not correct. But as for Krishna, what he says is Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Depending on the mode we are in, we get our guna and we do our work. Based on our guna and karma, we are called certain class. It's not based on the birth. Okay. If somebody is in pure goodness, can you engage them inside?
Yes, I wanted to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Brahma
So-
took charge of Rajaguna, which brings about creativity, and then Vishnu took charge of goodness, Sattva Guna, which protects and sustains, and Shiva, and then Shiva took charge of the quality of darkness, Tama Guna, which causes decay and destruction. It's right here. Tamas, Rajas, and Sattva.
That's a good point. We discussed that point. So now we can describe who is a Brahmana. Brahmana is someone who is in full mode of goodness and actually transcendental. Vaishnavas are transcendental. Sometimes Brahmanas they may be in goodness, not necessarily transcendental. Yeah.
Brahmanas are good people.
Brahmacharya, huh?
Are they really good people?
So these days, in the sense, as for Vedas, in Kali Yuga, Kalau Sudra Brahma, like everyone is. So Brahmana means in Mama, Tamo, Sauksham, Shata, Santam, Astikyam, Vijnanam, different qualities. Samodabo, Samas, Sauksham, Shantam. So all these qualities means that he is in goodness and he can be called Brahmana. A person in mode of passion and goodness predominating. He can be a king, he can be a politician, he can be a police, he can be a military man. Because he would like to enjoy, but at the same time you give protection. So the real quality of a Kshatriya is he gives his life to protect others. Not that he sits somewhere in the palace and orders somebody else to go to bed. So earlier days he is in the front. If he dies, everyone is defeated. So he is there in the front actually. So it's hard to find great Kshatriyas also today. If someone is in passion and ignorance, he like to. So Brahmana means generally he lives simple life. Not necessarily, it doesn't matter who his parents are, but he likes to live simple life, depend on God. If you want to set an example for others, you don't have to be crazy for all these things. Just by learning and giving knowledge to others, he doesn't work for anyone for salary. He just depends on the Lord and he teaches others about Vedic knowledge and everything. Passion means he takes taxes and he controls others, right? He doesn't work for others also. And someone in mix of passion and ignorance, he can be a Vaishya, he can be a farmer, he can be a businessman, he's self-dependent. He does trading generally, takes stuff where it is cheap and then sell where they demand. So he also doesn't work for anyone. He employs others. Okay. A person who is neither of these three, but he generally just helps one of these three. Okay. He's called Shuddha. It doesn't mean somebody is lower or higher. Everyone is equally important. Just like our parts of the body. They are compared to the parts of the Lord. Brahmanas are supposed to be the head of the Lord, hands, legs. So everyone is important, equally important to serve the Lord. So transcendental means, so this is how they are divided. Transcendental means not to see difference in them, to see everyone contributing to serve the Lord. In fact, when you go transcendental, the serving person, he is superior than others. Because he not proud of knowledge or anything, he is simply serving. In Bhakti Yoga process, the person in the lowest Shudra, he becomes the topmost. Whoever is focused on service is called Shuddha Bhakta, pure devotee. He simply want to serve the Lord with full faith and devotion. Someone is controlled by, he wants to control, administer, he is not so. Someone is attached to knowledge, I want a lot of knowledge and stuff like that. So this is the basic understanding.
Who is more pious?
Definitely a person in mode of goodness. Piousness brings to goodness. Transcendental, if you want to go transcendental, you need to do bhakti. Akarma, devotional service.
Person with mix of passion and pious?
Kings, Kshatriyas. Passion and goodness. See, the kings are very good-hearted. Even the kings are great devotees in the past. If you see, they take always guidance from the Brahmana ministers. They can't act on their own like today's all gundas and murderers are controlling the nation. Radhajivani, we can bring the plates now. So, continue while having the feast. So, there is a small prayer before we eat the prasadam. The prayer means that it is so difficult to control our tongue and senses. By eating prasadam, we will change our consciousness and it will help us to control especially the tongue. When we control the tongue, all other senses come in control. So that's the prayer. Lakshmi, you want to say the prayer, please? Prasadam prayer. Take a break, stretch your legs, please. Sorry. You want to say the prasadam prayer? Yeah.
Sarira Vidyajal
Sarira Vidyajal
Chandriya Tahekal
Tahekal
Jive Fale Visaya Sagare
Jive Fale Visaya Sagare
Tarmadhi Jibayati
Tarmadhi Jibayati
Lobamay Sudurmati
Lobamay Sudurmati
Take Jito Kotino Samsare
Take Jita Kotino Samsare
Krishna Boradoyamoy
Krishna Boradoyamoy
Haribare Jiva Joy
Haribare Jiva Joy
Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai
Swaprasadana Dilo Bhai Sena Mritapa
Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Radha Krishna Guna Gao
Premena Ko Chaitanya Nitai
Premena Ko Chaitanya Nitai
Janimai Janitai
Janimai Janitai
Srila Prabhupada Jai
Srila Prabhupada Jai
Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bolo
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bolo. Prasadam ki jai. Please start honoring. So while eating, we can go through the table. So any questions you can ask before we go to the table. So far, the table may have answers to the questions also.
Kitchen.
Or we can discuss education, right? What is the education mode of ignorance?
Krishna in the heart.
Education is mode of ignorance. These Naxalites and terrorists, they also go through a lot of training and education. Right? They research all these virus people who destroy the virus. Right? They study a lot just to destroy. You see, 9/11, so much of yeah. Actors, hacking, yes. So that's the education mode of ignorance.
Krishna take Balaram, Krishna take Balaram, Hari Hari Bol.
So what is the education mode of passion?
Scientist.
Friends take the gopi, the friends take the gopi, Hari Hari Bol. The friends take the gopi.
Sometimes they also can come under
The gopi take the water, Hari
They come in
Hari
both actually. All the education today in the big world is passion. There is no education in today's world which is in word of goodness, unfortunately. It's gone, in the Vedic times it's gone. See, if you see at the end of education, what are they doing? Are they trying to... This is all they're teaching, how to earn money, how to be selfish, how to be distinct in the world. That's all. They teach competition. The parents, the schools, everyone is teaching the same thing. Cutthroat. How to cheat. Only in temples they're supposed to teach something in serving, helping others. Maybe in some other countries they may have, but we rarely find. Moral science, it used to be there, moral science. A small textbook in our school days. It's gone. Not anymore.
US is better than India.
US is better, he's right. At least they focus on this from the childhood. They help the kids not to get in too much passion. They're trying their best. So, what is education goodness? Means is moral science and all these things. Vedic time used to be there. But the transcendental education means to know. Prabhupada used to say, the founder of ISKCON, he went to the big universities like Harvard. He was asking, what is the use, you have such a big universities and they have finished education, they go out and what are they doing? They're behind these bars and looking out for opposite, sex to enjoy and going to. What is use of this education? What are they? They're not becoming a better person. You see? And why there is no department to study a difference between a dead body and human body, living body? This is what Prabhupada was asking. There is no department, there is no university. Which help us to understand the difference between living body and dead body. So we all believe that we all came by chance, this world is created by chance, a big assumption. And we are looking at Darwin theory, where he speculated something and diplomatically they put it in the textbook. There is no proof, so many opposite evidences. Big Bang theory, again diplomatic. Right? So, transcendental means to know what's the difference between body and soul, what happens after death, what is the purpose of life. If you ask the science, what is the purpose of life? No, there is no purpose. There is such a beautiful design, right? It came by chance, they said. They said there are so many laws in this world, but there is no lawmaker. There is so much design in this world, and there is no designer. So much order. Cosmos means so much order. So mode of goodness, one is bound by knowledge, passion, one is bound by futile work. And in ignorance they are bound by pramada, alasya, nidra, insanity, indolence and sleep. Right? In the mode of goodness, they are always looking for knowledge, because of the nature of soul is Satsang. Before I forget, I wanted to say the conclusion. The conclusion really is how to raise from these three modes, whether we are in passion, ignorance, goodness. How to go transcendental is to really, depending on the power of association. If you get in touch with people in ignorance, we get into ignorance. If you always associate with people in passion, we will remain in passion. If you associate with means we like to be friends with them, we like to invite them to home, we want to go to their houses, we want to go party with them, we want to go on picnic with them. This is association. If we associate with people in mode of goodness, we become goodness. And if we associate with people in transcendental, if we are very fortunate, then we can become transcendental. And by associating with them, we will learn a lot of techniques of how to practice, what to practice in life. Practice is must to be successful in any games or education or in life. So there is a lot of simple practices we have to do. So by associating, we will learn from each other. The best practice is to chant the names of the Lord, to depend on the Lord. In the beginning, just have this faith that the holy names of the Lord, Krishna, Rama, Narayana, any name of the Lord, more than the mantra, they are very powerful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that Kali Yuga, the names of the Lord is the only shelter for us to go beyond these three modes. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Ivi Kevalam, Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatirani. There is no other